Hello everyone, how are you all doing? Today we are going to be reviewing a main battle tank, the T-80U, because, as someone has kindly put it to me, it's overpowered as fuck! Seriously, in the current format, this thing is just stupid. I mean this in the absolutely craziest, stupidest ways. So for a start, you'll notice that it has a spall liner, and that I have equipped it with an additional spall liner, giving it effectively a massive, unprecedented hit point boost of reducing all incoming damage by 15%. That's silly. I firmly believe that increasing hit points is better than reducing incoming damage, because by reducing damage, you're penalizing other players for shooting a target and not knowing that they're going to be penalized for it. That seems a bit unfair. But in the meantime, let's talk. So, to see all of the stats, I have to open both of these screens. Go figure. And we are going to compare it to the Stingray 2, a light tank at the same tier, as well as to the Merkava, a premium main battle tank at this tier, which is tier 7. And we're going to compare it to the Leopard 2, the German main battle tank, and the Challenger 1. This way we get a good range of guns, as well as armor types, that the T-80U has to deal with, starting with the Challenger 1. T-80U, more damage, more penetration. Faster What? So not only does it have more damage and more penetration per shot, but it reloads faster than a 120 by over 2 seconds. Has 500 less hit points and significantly less armor, like to the point that the side armor is actually your Challenger. Just what the hell? Seriously, what the shit? What in the hell? It's faster than the Challenger, which means that yes, you can outflank it, but you really just can't penetrate that side armor. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that. Camouflage-wise, they're the exact same. Hull traverse-wise, it's insane. This thing has better hull traverse than most AFV's tank destroyers and light tanks. That's ridiculous. Combined with a turret traverse, it's over 80 degrees per second. It only takes this vehicle 2 seconds to turn its turret all the way around and shoot someone who's exactly opposite its gun. Aim time is less than 2 seconds. Maximum deviation is worse than the Challenger, and it has depression of Russia, as well as elevation of Russia. Fair warning. Wish they would show us the elevation in here. Against the Leopard 2, we somehow run into the same issue of it has more damage and more pen and a faster reload. Hey, Devs. Devs. That doesn't make any sense. You've basically given the tank that already had higher alpha and better pen a faster reload with a bigger gun. Just letting you know. Now the Leopard 2 is supposed to be well armored, and it is relatively well armored, but this thing's main gun can just penetrate its lower plate and not give two shits. Hit point wise, the Leopard 2 has more hit points once again. Actually has more hit points than the Challenger now, oddly enough. But armor wise, I gotta give it to the Leopard 2. Better sloping of the armor, smaller lower plate, and the turret is much thicker. You can actually punch the front of the turret of this tank with tier 9s. Speed-wise, I don't understand how the T-80U is faster, but it's faster. Camouflage-wise, Leopard 2 has better camouflage and better view range, so it will outspot the T-80 in almost all cases. It has better gun depression, better accuracy, a faster aim time, which is something characteristic of the Leopard series. It will always have better aim time now than any other series. It'll have the better aim time, and will have always the best cannon deviation of the tier. So get used to that from the Leopard 1 at tier 3 all the way to the Leopard 2 Evolution at tier 10. So there you go. There is the Leopard 2. Now against a 105mm vehicle, it has better penetration, significantly better damage. The Merkava can reload every 6 seconds if you reload every single time you fire. So the Merkava is the first tank we've run into with a better reload. Merkava has significantly more hit points, but significantly weaker armor. Period. Merkava is stupidly slower, and slower to turn. Has slightly better view range, but has horrific gun depression. horrific gun depression. I mean, I thought we had gun depression of Russia. Then not to be out depressed, the Jews went, no, we have better gun depression. We are not as depressed. And the Russians were like, okay then. I'm not trying to be racist. That's just horrible. 1 degree. The gun depression off the rear is 6, and that's still worse than the T-80 off the front. Better accuracy, which characteristic of all Russian vehicles now, they are the least accurate in the game. Better aim time because it's a 105 gun. Come on, it's got to have something. And turret traverse-wise, the Merkava does have better turret traverse, but the hull traverse alone on the T-80 will outrun the turret and hull traverse of the Merkava. I'm not kidding. Against the Stingray, better pen, better damage. It's 105. Slower reload, still does higher DPM. Armor-wise, the Stingray actually has more frontal armor. Except for on the turret, but you know. It's faster than a light tank that weighs half as much as it. Hey, balance steps. Hey. This thing's too fast. Just thought you should know. View range wise, it's a light tank. And right now in the current patch, light tank's view range is OP as hell. I mean, so the Stingray 2, I'm just going to point this out, has better view range than the crap by 5 meters. The Stingray 2 has better view range than the Sphinx. Yeah. Light tanks are a bit OP on spotting right now. Better gun depression goes to the Stingray. The Russian gun, again, the least accurate gun of its tier. Slower aim time, actually. And because of the turret traverse, the Stingray can actually out-traverse this vehicle, but that's still an insane traverse on either vehicle. So, there's your statistics versus other vehicles of its tier. Its advantages are, it reloads stupidly quick for an alpha cannon like this. It has the highest alpha, I think. Let me double check. The Chinese might have it beat for some inane reason. Nope, the Chinese have worse alpha and worse penetration and a longer reload. So, best reload of a 125 ever. Good frontal armor covered in ERA plating all over, which, by the way, the ERA and the spaced armor will save you repeatedly from taking damage. And it has an extremely low profile. It's really hard to hit this thing when it's moving and get a decent hit. So, as always, we do have a replay for you. T-80U, taken on May the 13th, which at the time of recording is, I believe, 3 days old. No, time of recording is 2 days old. This is from the Saturday of May 13th. I'm recording this on Monday, May 15th. After this, we will do a PvE session live, so you guys can get a feel for that. I don't know why you're not starting me on my tank. There's going to be a whole lot of driving in this, and you guys are going to get to see the T-80U perform. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Just a little bit. Because there's going to be a whole lot of... Look at this. So I want to point out that this entire time I've been doing 50. 45 to 50 consistently. Get to this hill. This Centauro 105 is having trouble. T-80U just like, I don't care. Drives right up the road. Barely slows down. This thing's engine has got to be obscene. I see the weasel over there. I kind of poke up. I am spotted. I realize this. I back down. And now I poke back up. See what I see. I'm not spotted at the moment. I do have rounds that have come in at me. Even though I've relocated, people are taking guess shots. I throw down smoke and start moving. Or no, the Abrams does. And then I see targets. Stingray 2. You know, it might not be the most accurate gun in the world, but it'll do the job. Right at an average damage roll of 542. That's 1 point over the average damage of 541. Now I'm moving out. As you can see, I literally just, it does, minimum speed I'm going to hit is 33. After that, it's going to be downhill at insane speeds, wrecking through trees like it just don't care. I think I take a hit here. No, I do get spotted and I throw down smoke and just keep going. Now this thing has no gun depression, so going up over this hill is probably not the best idea. Or at least trying to fight from it is definitely not a very good idea. I try to pump it into that leopard's lower plate, and the gun just doesn't have the accuracy to shoot at this range. Nor does it have the penetration to pin at that angle. The ricochet does no damage. I'm going to shoot one more at the leopard. And then I'm tired of this bullshit. I start advancing. Incoming fire, but you don't care. You're moving way too quick for a main battle tank. People are not anticipating you to be able to go this quickly. I point my gun to keep him pinned down. I point my gun over here, keep him pinned down, and I'm advancing right on this WZ like I just don't care. Right into the lower plate. 825, which is near a maximum damage roll, and then continue to drive. I let the Challenger throw down his smoke and keep us covered. I throw down additional smoke so that I stay invisible, just to make sure. And now I'm driving around behind them. This thing performs like a light tank on these hills, by the way. I mean, there's certain steepness you just can't climb, but then you get over to here and you're just like, now I'm moving slow. Wait, I'm still doing 13 up this hill? Look how steep this is. Just doesn't care at all. And now for the fun part. Surprise butt sex, motherfucker! I came for the booty sexes! And that's what I shall have. As you can see, I've used the map to outflank my opponents now. I missed that shot. Such a clutch shot. I throw out a smoke grenade and because I saw the missile in air there for a split second. And I have to use a repair kit to fix my gun. Now, I've learned already that this is not a snipey tank. And I switched to HE to engage the light tank, and that was a bad decision. Now, that Abrams got a lucky shot. He did manage to penetrate my engine deck when I was angled down for a split second. If he'd fired a second before or a second after, he wouldn't have had the shot. Now I'm reloading Sabo for velocity because I'm at long range. And I can't quite get the angle because I don't have depression or elevation. The gun basically needs to be on flat terrain. Dangerously peeking over here, taking a shot at the Merkava side, right through. That's what that extra 40 millimeters of penetration will get you a lot of the time, is you'll punch at higher angles. And now the Abrams has decided he wishes to shoot me instead of the T-80B that's directly in front of him. I am pissed. I am having none of his shit. And so, as you can see, I am actually keeping pace with that expeditionary tank to get in here. And these guys, for some reason, haven't managed to kill him yet. I come over and just boop. Excellent shooting on the move. This is way OP as hell with how accurate this gun is while moving. I slow to a stop, take the shot, pump it right into the side of the Abrams, and just keep right on going. I'm not going to be able to get the kill shot from here because of the angle of the side armor there. But I am going to seek cover because there's a Weasel Hot up there and I am being shot at by other enemies. However, as with this vehicle, you're going to quickly learn if you're not moving, you're losing. So you just keep driving. You are a spearhead style vehicle. That means that you are frontline, go, go, go. If you are not driving the enemy, you are losing. That means that also, because of how quick this damn thing is, it's nearly as fast as a light tank. It can keep pace with the lighter vehicles and therefore be used in the same manner, as we saw with my outflank. It's just that fast. Now, it doesn't do well on hills, as you can see the Challenger outrunning me on the hill, but once you get back into the open terrain, it just goes. As you can see, I've achieved 2 kills, 3,500 damage. I've only taken 800 in return because if you're moving and shooting with this thing, you're doing it right. Just keep scoot and move, shoot and scoot, shoot and scoot. I would have got that kill if I was even a split second faster, so a slightly better driver would have got me that kill. This is actually with just a level 1 crew, fresh out the gate. But as you can see, I'm climbing back up the hill I started at. I've circumnavigated the map. Come on up over here. I'm willing to take the hits. Bounce the side of a Challenger. Ram him. Don't kill him. Take an Abrams in the rear. And now I've got a reload from hell of 32 seconds for having a damaged gun. I really wish that had penetrated, but it hit his upper plate on top of the tank instead of hitting the side where I'd aimed it. But that's the end of this. As you can see, it's just how you use this. It is overpowered. A squadron of these can be used like a squadron of Challengers where you literally just slam into the enemy and keep going. Your maneuverability allows you to turn the tank very rapidly and reposition yourself in a way to protect yourself, even if it means having to expose your sides and rear for a few seconds. You literally, your hull traverse is just obscene. You will almost always be able to bring the front of the tank around. Now please do remember the driver hatch and lower plate on this tank are particularly weak, so you will want to try to protect them. Doing that just means looking for a hull down spot. If somebody's in a hull down spot, by the way, and I've done this, on River Point where they hull down coming from the south on the 8-9 line where they hull down, you can come in there and just rush straight into that rocky area and fight them point blank straight up, and you will win. Your higher DPM will kill any one-on-one tank at tier 7 or lower. Hell, tier 8 you can one-on-one, and you'll win at higher DPM so long as you make your shots count. With a squadron of these like we had, we literally just rushed down 8-9 line, did not stop for anything, pushed right through and murdered them. And an Abrams even tried to take a side shot at me. An allied Abrams tried to take a side shot at me for apparently taking kills. He said, "That's for taking my kill." And I turned the tank just quick enough. I pressed the turn button as I saw his gun pointed at me, and it turned just enough to make it bounce. That's how fast this thing turns. So as you can see, I'm going to drive up here, right up to this rocky outcropping. I'm going to look for a place I can hull down, which is probably going to be behind this dead tank. Yep, here they come. I'm using this tank as cover. I'm going to turn back around. As you can see, I'm using the tanks to cover me up. All they can see is my turret. We're going to switch to a frag round to kill that BMB-4. He can fire at me all he wants. I'm going to switch back to Sabo after this. I am just taking hit after hit here and not even caring. That's how nice the frontal armor is on this turret. Ooh. I'm not quite sure where that went in. I think they might have got an up. Oh, we got a T-80 coming up. I'm hoping I get some more support from back there. Of course you guys are not properly supporting me. I need more support here, guys. That's a hit from the rear. I did not want to switch to missiles. Where are our teammates? Hello? Trying to use this thing behind me to keep me covered. But our team is not really providing me with any real support. Now I've stayed covered up from what was behind me. Try to penetrate that. Don't get the pin. I think I backed up a little too much there. And I can officially blame this on the team. There is no reason why they should not be up here firing at these guys. They all sat around the objective and didn't move. I missed that shot. He's definitely trying to hit my commander's hatch. Going to advance. I got a hit there. That's awesome. Termination. I'm up to 4 kills, 6,500 damage, leading the team. Gonna back up so that the expeditionary tank can't shoot me. Now we're gonna push in after that bagel panzer. $800 damage, HE penetration. That's what I want to see. Literally firing my gun as fast as I possibly can. Again, continually seeking targets is always my philosophy. If you're not shooting, you're losing. For some odd reason, the expeditionary tank says I hit its gun, which is bullshit because we saw it hit the hull. That is definitely a bug that needs to be addressed. Hey guys, wake up. Devs. Now you actually want to hit the RDF in the turret because the sloping on the armor will protect it from most HE shells. But if you can get a turret shot, that's an excellent thing. Use smoke as cover there in order to get past this lieutenant so he can't kill me. Failed to fuse. However, a ram will just murder it. Get a nice little side shot into the lieutenant there. Force him to turn to face me so that my ally can start pumping rounds into him, and then I'll let my ally deal with him. Got a Stingray 2, I need to get to cover. Smoke grenade's still on reload. When in fact, this is the problem over here. Trying to use the rocks behind me to keep me covered. As I advance on the bagel, going in for the ram. Bagel down. HE penetration for 700, jamming turret and destroying multiple systems. Stingray 2, you want to aim. You actually don't want to fire HE at, but if you have to, shoot it in the turret and then reload to Sabo because the Stingray 2's Cadloy steel is reinforced versus high explosive. Something missing in the tooltip that needs to be known is that it's still reinforced against HE rounds. You need to actually fire Sabo. Not heat either because it's reinforced against heat as well. Now I got an HE round loading into the chamber. It's going to be best if I just load it and get behind this guy. Ah, shoot. Broke his track so we can actually kill him. This is his front. I did not realize that. Allies should be able to finish him off. He's gone. We got an RDF up here. Again, I'm going to load high explosive because it has less chance of actually not killing it. And I'm going to go full in. As I've shown before, this tank is literally that kind of vehicle that you don't stop. Oddly enough, this is the first Puma I've ever seen in-game as an NPC. Going to terminate it first. Going to ram the front of this RDF and start lifting him off the ground so his gun is useless. As you can see, they can damage your sight without actually damaging you. Gonna just keep pushing him. Ah, shattered. You got a shot in. Oh my god, really? You would think that the caliber of the gun would just overwhelm it, but shoot in the turret to get the kill. Stingray, once again, is made of Cadloy steel. You have to use Sabo to damage it properly. Using HE will not result in proper amounts of damage unless you get a side or rear shot flat on. So since I don't have that option, I'm going to continue to pump Sabo into him. As you can see, I'm running out of ammo, which is not good. So we're going to save a little bullets here. And just take him out with a ram. Warrior is actually a main battle tank in AFV form. You just want to fire Sabo or missiles at it. Do not fire your HE at the Warrior. It will not do any damage. And you want to shoot it in the turret, by the way, because that's where the armor's thin. Its body armor is actually pretty thick. It takes out the RDF. Now the swing fire, I probably actually want to load a missile for since I'm out of HE rounds, but oh well. We're going to go ahead and load a missile for the next guy. Going to put down smoke because I saw fire incoming and I need to cover myself up while I get turned around. As we see more fire coming in, I'm currently well above the leaderboard with this thing's DPM up. And there's the Scorpion 90 that's shooting at us. Missile is perfect for this. The heat-based round will do significantly more damage than my Sabo. And I reload faster than the Abrams pilot. Now, against the VFM, you do want to fire Heat Shot. It has very good armor versus Sabo. It has very good armor versus HE. But versus Heat Shells, not so much. And therefore, Heat, i.e. missiles, are effective. Right into the turret is actually where you want to pump the shells. That's where you can do critical damage and where you can most oftentimes hurt the crew. And that's 16 kills. Let everyone know they're on YouTube. And there you go. That's the T-80U. One of the most overpowered tanks at the moment, depending on what they do to it for .20, the patch that should have already released, and it keeps having to be pushed back due to technical issues. There you go. Blue Star, Destroyer, Shooter, Target. This is just a tank you can just do that in. You get behind some cover where they can only see your turret. That commander's hatch on top is virtually indestructible. The rewards here are utter garbage, by the way. This is trash. This is a tier 7 fight. I got 28,000 credits. To purchase a tier 7 requires 6 million credits. So if I sat here playing my T-80U, I would have to play 210 PvE matches to buy another tier 7. Take it from me. That's pretty trash. They need to increase the PvE rewards significantly, in my opinion, because that wasn't even worth doing. And at this point, XP-wise, I've got too much. I've got so much XP, and I've got no credits. And it's always been that way with Armored Warfare, and they need to figure out a better balance for credits to experience, because I end up with loads of experience. Over 161 million so far, and not enough XP. Wow. That put me up over 40 to 1 kill to death for PvE. But yeah, this thing, I mean, if you want to upgrade it to battle hardened, and upgrade to premium and everything, you could probably make a decent chunk of credits just burning it into PvE match after PvE match. And as the crew gets better, you're going to get better aim times and you're going to get quicker. Crew-wise, I do recommend Smooth Ride so that you can shoot on the move, and you do not need Spit It to win it. Its hull traverse is already insane. Take off-road driving so that you can accelerate faster. For the gunner, quick draw and just shoot from the hip to get that accuracy and that aim time down as low as it'll go. It already has a very good aim time. It's right there just below the average aim time, which is great. It's better than most people. So when I say below average, I mean it's faster. So just get it even lower and also reduce the inaccuracy, which is its glaring flaw, and you have a pretty solid vehicle. As you can see also down here for retrofits, I actually recommend the air induction cleaner to take the whole traverse speed to over 9,000 like I did. The extra spall liner to reduce incoming damage, since you have a very small hit point pool, as a matter of fact the smallest of any tier 7 main battle tank. Reducing additional incoming damage by another 10% is going to be the difference in life and death. And the improved gun breach will take advantage of your very fast reload and make it faster than the other MBTs. I am also going to go here and adjust my ammunition load slightly for purposes of PvE, because I do not carry enough Sabo, it seems. So there we go. This is my recommended ammunition load. I don't recommend using the heat rounds at all, because the missiles take the same amount of time to load, and while they don't do as much damage, they do have the penetration to make it work. The HE rounds are what you're going to primarily use against lighter targets anyway. There's very few selective targets you're actually going to fire missiles on. As a matter of fact, I'm going to drop missiles down to 4. Because you're not going to need this, because your gun already has 600 penetration. Nothing special with consumables, guys, and I recommend Freya because of the aim speed for the already fast aiming gun and the ammo swap speed. Much less the fact that she improves the glaring flaw of accuracy and gives you slightly better vision, as well as increasing your module damage chance on a weapon that already has a very high module damage chance, because it's the highest caliber weapon at the tier of 125 millimeters. So for the tier, it has the highest critical chance as is, since critical chance is now based upon weapon caliber rather than upon damage that you deal. And it already deals the most damage, so if you hit something, as you saw in the PvE match, you're gonna break it. Almost every time you get a hit on a module, you break the module instead of just damaging it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. There is your T-80U review. I'll be reviewing another vehicle later this week, but in the meantime, let me know what you thought in the comments. Seriously, what do you think of the T-80U? Please do hit the like button if you had a good time. Hit the dislike button if you didn't, and let me know why. Subscribe if you already haven't, and support me on Patreon, guys, because that's how I pay the bills around here. Google no longer pays me hardly anything for ad revenue. I think this month my ad revenue is actually all the way down to $30, despite my views being the highest they've been since January. My ad revenue is in the toilet. So yeah, I need you guys on Patreon. I seriously do, because that's how I'm paying the utility bills at the moment. In the meantime, from my house to yours, this has been Fiaura, and I will see you guys next time.